All right, we are going to start our global macro update here. We're just going to wait a few more moments so we can let the people from the Discord into the live, and then we'll get started just looking at some charts, not really diving into any news articles today. Going to be mainly discussing BTC and the two potential outcomes that we could see due to the severe contraction and volatility that's been taking place within the recent handful of weeks here, basically from maybe a couple months. So we're mainly going to stick to the daily chart, but we will be waiting for a few moments just so people within the Discord can see the announcements that we are now live. And then we're going to get the recording going, and then we can start from there. All right, I think we're going to get started. I think first thing we're going to be looking at is this chart right here, which is going to be the BTC volatility index. All right. Hey traders, welcome to a crypto market update. This is going to be a shorter video. Not a ton has happened in the BTC markets or altcoin markets. So we're just going to be covering the two different potential opportunities that we could be seeing within this next couple weeks or maybe a month or even 2 months. We don't exactly know, but what we know exactly what's happening is the fact that there is reducing or the amount of volatility is reducing, and we can see in the previous two times that the volatility went under this 4.5 area. I just randomly put that there by looking at the previous, well, not randomly, but by looking at the previous lows and looking at the outliers for the extremely low volatile times. And then we see back in October as well as March of 2019, we see that those two previous times were extremely low volatile times, and we're getting to an area where we could have a third time. And within these two previous times, not too recently after, we had extremely volatile moves where we're expanding in volatility, and that's exactly what we're looking for within this next upcoming move. So we're looking for a big move where we're going to be looking to continue the momentum and the trend either to the upside or to the downside, and we're going to look at two potential playouts that in price action that could be uh, coming into fruition in the next handful of weeks or potentially months here. So we're mainly going to stick on the daily chart. Also, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section below, and then I'll be able to see them and help you out. So we're going to look at the bars pattern, which is a tool on TradingView that allows you to replay certain candles. So if you click here, you can see that now I have these candles and I can use them. I can flip them. So then it allows me to look for potential outcomes that could play out and kind of understand the different possibilities within a certain structure that we're looking at. So within this current structure, if we're looking for a potential move to the downside, I view it similar to this zone right here back in 2018 to the start of 2019, where we had a base that was formed really well, very similar to gold for basically 5-6 years. It was in a base where it was unable to create a higher high. It was holding a key level of resistance, and it was creating a nice bottoming out pattern. And what we're seeing right now is the opposite of that, right? So we see a nice bottom, a key level of support, which is horizontal, and then we see a topping where we see initially a series of higher highs, and then we see lower highs now. And then if we do get the momentum to push the price below this ascending level of support, especially below this $8,500 zone, which is going to be the key level of support within this top, we could see a move to the downside, because since April 30th of this year, everyone who is long is basically going to be under in red unless you caught the wicks at around 80, 81, maybe 82. But there's a lot of people obviously who bought in this range, not a lot of people who bought here, who would all be red. Loss of confidence from the bulls, and I think that continuation could come. So this is that first opportunity that I think could come, and we got this from flipping this around. So this is the bottom back in 2018/2019. And then this is, it flipped around, so we can see that this nice $8,500 zone would be the potential level of support. And once it breaks that zone, I think that it would be a pretty severe move to the downside. And then below the $8,500 zone is where we're looking for continuation patterns to the downside. You could be looking for channels, you can be looking for wedges, you could be looking for triangles. Whatever your system is, you should be looking for sells if it breaks this zone to continue the momentum down, in my personal opinion. And why did I stop it there? If we're looking at the large time frames, especially the weekly and 2-day or daily, if you really zoom out, you can see that there's a large symmetrical triangle, which is a major macro continuation pattern, which I think will hold the price. So betting that it will go further down, you definitely, I think, in my opinion, I would want to be looking to take profits if I am gaining some short exposure above the 8K zone. I think a potential level of support is above the 6K level, key level of support back in 2018, if you remember that major triangle. So definitely going to be looking for opportunities to the short side if it breaks 85 up until the 6K zone, which is a huge area for us to be looking for opportunities in. All right, so that is the first option, in my opinion. Because of the reduction in the contraction and volatility, we do see that there's a high probability that we're going to get an expansion phase, and that's going to mean that there's going to be high volatility, lots of movement in a certain direction, lots of momentum, a huge shift in confidence from the buyers, which it currently is. We had that huge rally, and this asset has performed better than almost any other asset in terms of the recovery of the massive, huge dump to the downside. There has been assets that have recovered a lot better. Gold is one of them. It's done phenomenal. Silver has done less well compared to gold, and BTC is kind of, in my opinion, in line with silver in terms of the recovery. So it's pretty good. And some alts have not really done well at all. So the second option is going to be to the upside, which is still a probability for sure. And that's going to be a potential move, something like this. So we do see a contraction of volatility right here. And what I would be looking for a confirmation to validate the potential upside would be a break in 10K, but we need to hold it. Last time on the daily chart, we got to move to the upside, and it was an instant rejection back down, and we've failed to make any significant higher high since. We haven't been even able to hold a higher high. We've been holding lower highs. So we are squeezing. It's a symmetrical triangle. If it does break to the upside, we need to see a validation that the price is able to not just break, but hold above and ideally retest the previous level of resistance for a new level of support with a type B or type A candle closure, where you're getting a precise reaction from this previous resistance, which indicates to you that there is significant amount of buyers coming in and going to continue to buy up this price and obviously move it higher. So those are going to be the two options that I currently see within the market. I would like to see the volatility reduce even greater from, or even less from where it is right now, where we saw back in October of 2018, we got up to like, we got down to 1.7, and then on around March of 2019, we got around 3.14, and we're currently at 3.6. So it would be great to see the volatility reduce even more, and then we can just really find that expansion phase, look for continuation patterns. Whatever your system is, whatever your strategy is, it is going to be quite aggressive in my opinion. So we do have to have, in my opinion, a lower risk reward structure initially, because we will expect the price to not parabolically move, but it will speed up as the trend continues. And you could be looking for, a more dependable risk reward structure at your initial setup of the trade, and then as the trend continues, you could be using different ways to stagger your take profits, or just try to let it run. You could use just simple support and resistance, making sure that the structure does not change from moving to a downtrend or consolidation into an uptrend. You could use moving averages, you could use parabolic SARs, you could use a bunch of stuff. You could use Bollinger Bands, you could use whatever you'd like in order to try to look for opportunities to take profit. That is your system and your back testing that should be applied. But I do think that in these situations where we have major contraction and volatility, where you see the price action almost become untradeable for swing traders because you're getting like 1-2% moves that are very quick. It's noisy. You're not getting follow through. You're not getting a strong trend. And that's okay. It's time to be patient. Maybe look at other markets. But when the time comes when the expansion and volatility does arrive, that you're ready, you're prepared, and you have an idea of what to do. If, one of multiple things happen, you have a method and system and an idea of how to apply your skills in order to profit from that event. So that's basically the video sum up, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Going to quickly look at some questions here on YouTube, not much, and what I will do is actually just close the video in terms of the recording, and then I'll look at all of the questions on TikTok as well as YouTube. But that's the completion of the crypto market update. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, it would be great if you give it a thumbs up or subscribe. That does help us out greatly. If you're looking for a community to learn about cryptocurrency education for absolutely free, in terms of the commentary we provide in terms of the market, not just in BTC but in alts as well, we do provide a free Discord with a great friendly community that you can join as well. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you have a great weekend, and hopefully you had a great week in the markets. Until Monday, see you next time, and happy trading. All right, so that was the crypto market update. Going to be looking at some questions on TikTok here. Gian, Lori, thank you very much. Just got some emojis on some hands. Appreciate that. Junior says, SQ, what are your thoughts on debit spreads? Never traded them. I know very little about them. I would not be the person to ask in terms of if you should or should not pursue that endeavor. I've never traded debit spreads or anything, so just definitely not the person to ask. All right, so I think that's the end of the video. Don't really have a whole lot of questions coming in to the TikTok, but I will be looking at making a video for the Performante Premium students on this Friday, just going over the altcoin market, looking at what alts could be a potential for next week, and then we'll also be making a Sunday night video for a potential upcoming trading opportunity if we do see one. So thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Until next time, have a good one, and hopefully you guys have all a good weekend.